Hello and welcome to the Harrop Ultimate Street Car Invitational from Winton Motor Raceway. On our last episode, we saw the guys and girls go at it in the Motorcana, a very short, sharp course which brought out the best and the worst of their driving and their capabilities within the car. The Porsche was absolutely rapid. It was Bradford who was the quickest car out there in that Porsche, but the Lotus Elise was exceptionally quick as well, running in top three situation. Christian Fitzgerald, however, in the Audi was the surprise packet, setting the second quickest time. And on today's show, we're going to meet the Fitzgeralds, Peter and Christian, running the Audi and the Porsche today. And don't think for a moment there's not a stack of rivalry between the two as they pit their cars against each other at Winton.
I came on board with Dad a couple of years ago to help out with the Evolve side of things, so I look after everything other than Porsches. So I'll be driving the Audi tomorrow. All-wheel drive should be quite interesting on the track. We ran the Porsche Car Club last year against each other in a GT3 and it was head-to-head the whole way through. We won 1-2 for the year, so we're always going at it with each other. Tomorrow will be another page of the book.
The time is coming where I probably will do less driving and I need him to do more, and we're trying to establish him with credibility. And this year, with him running the championship on his own, he's ended up taking it outright and open again on his own. So that gives him credibility for the customers. When they come in, they can recognise who they're dealing with, and when he gives them advice on the track, which we do a lot of customer support for the Porsche Club. It's all about credibility. When you get results, you get credibility. We, up until this year, have been involved in every hot tuner and we've won 4 of them. So it was a natural progression for us to try and help Heath kick off this. I'm hoping tomorrow will prove fruitful for us, and I hope that this helps build it up for them.
Yeah, look, I think it's a great opportunity for younger guys to do. I'm a very big advocate for trying to keep hooting off the roads. I think getting to the track is the best way to get it out of your system. I know that firsthand. I've been lucky enough to have the experience and opportunities over the years to do that. And I think it's a great opportunity to having these sorts of events that anyone can enter and get along and have a bit of track time, show off their toys and socialise with other enthusiasts. The Audi will definitely be better with its four-wheel drive function. It'll help it stick to the road a bit better and give it a bit more grip. We've done a set of lowering springs in the car which will give it a bit more dynamic through the corners, and it's got a bucket load of torque with the turbo, so getting out of the corners will be pretty exciting. The
Porsche's developed over a few years, and it's gone from the stage of a road spring power upgrade to now it's got a cage, it's been light-weighted, it's got carbon doors, carbon roof, and it's about 650, 700 horsepower, so it's a real rocket ship.
So a glorious day at Winton Motor Raceway as we turn our attention to the auto test now. Heath Moore joins me, and this is going to be interesting. A wide variety of cars. Aaron Wheatley in the GTS up first with a 39.93. Big, heavy car, very quick in a straight line.
Brendan Finlay in the VE Coupe. 22-inch wheels makes it hard to get through the corners, but again with Harrop brakes should be able to get that into the box easily.
Yeah, and you know he loves to get on the gas. Look at the size of those rims. That is an amazing vehicle. Hard to believe it started off as a Maloo. What a great story this is.
Justin Smithies with the Hillman. Chrome bumpers, we should see more of it, Wade.
Absolutely. This is old school cool. But I got to tell you, a 4101, that's not far outside what we just saw then.
From the 70s, pretty good. Here's Craig Dean in the Mustang.
Everyone drooling over this, whether you're a Chev man or not, you've got to love a Shelby GT. And look at Craig, very good on the...
Well experienced with Targa.
Yeah, tarmac rally stuff. He's very quick. On board now with Martin Moran. The GTO Coupe was a bit of a surprise in the Motorcana, to be honest.
And he's got some experience around Winton with the race seat and the harnesses. He knows how to turn corners. And again, I think he's going to get this through to the box pretty easily.
35.91. That's a very competitive run for Martin Moran. This guy is a great story. Terry Henderson from regional Victoria, his wife Lee. They're here this weekend. They're loving putting the GTS through its paces, getting a bit sideways as well, a 35.65. Earlier, we met the Hendersons.
We've always had really good cars. We've been married for 43 years and we've always had good cars all the way through and that. And it was only the last 2 years that when the GTS first came out, it had a 430 kilowatt package. That's got the bee's knees. It's all I really want. It's got the right drivetrain and everything. And we only had it for about 3 months. And I got onto 2 websites. I got onto Walkinshaw and I got onto Harrop to see if they had any packages out. Harrop was back to me the next day. Julian was on the phone. He said, we've got 3 packages. This is what they are, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. This is how much it's going to cost and everything like that. And that's virtually, where it started with Harrop and that. So we went down and virtually got the stage 2 package done straight away. My wife Lee said she heard another car there that had a cam in it. We didn't put a cam in it because the cam comes in the stage 3. Lee Conlon said, if you want a cam in it, he said, well, you can put a cam in it for you. So 10 days later, we booked it and went back and put a cam in it, so we got a stage 2.5 done on it actually. So
just as well, I'm a rev head like you.
Harrop's been really good to us and everything like that. They done all the enhancement on the motor and that, and they done a terrific job on it, so I'm really happy with it. This is the second time up here. We came up with Harrop last year and that, and I've had 3 track days at Sandown. I've still got my times from last time. I've got them written down there, so I want to improve on my times from last time. So, and then I can drive home safely at a normal speed and get out there and let all the adrenaline run out on the racetrack. They were really good. I've actually branched out a little bit and I've hit the drag strip at Heathcote twice, so I've done two days at Heathcote and that. So it's 770 horsepower at the flywheel, which is 570 kilowatts and 1,035 newton metres torque. So it's pretty quick. I can get 11, just with road tyres, I get 11.7 seconds on the quarter, so which is pretty quick for a street car and that. So I'm happy with that, being an old fella.
Go to Ben Shoots now. You know a fair bit about this BMW.
Indeed, Wade. It's a little bit grip limited with the new suspension that we're running and the tyres not offering quite enough grip, but Ben's well versed in getting the car sideways and steering it off the throttle.
Wasn't overly happy with his Motorcana test, so he's hoping to step it up right now. 33.81. Kim, she loves her Maloo. What a passion she has for motoring.
It's the right colour, it's got the power, and nothing better than seeing a female get out there and have a crack.
39.02 seconds, an impressive time. She takes this really seriously too, I might tell you. And I've got to say, every other competitor is just in awe of her passion for motoring. Good job. Stuck straight in the box there. Christian Fitzgerald, we know this car will be rapid.
All-wheel drive, turbo, they've got great upgrades, and Christian really knows how to steer. He's got a club championship with the Porsche Club. Again, through Winton, the back part of the circuit here, he can get it through the corners nicely.
And he wants to beat his dad, Tim Harrop, in the Holden VF. 34.69 for Tim. He was impressive in the Motorcana.
Yeah, he did really well. We've really got this car set up more for drag racing, so to get it through the corners, and he's done a little bit of karting in his youth, so he knows how to steer.
34.69 and pulls up very nicely indeed. Dave Shart, we know he was disappointed with his Motorcana. He's just struggling a little bit with the whole right-hand drive thing, that's all.
He's got the shift sorted, and having driven at Time Attack, now that he's driving at Winton, he feels like he's got a lot more control on the car.
Krista Jaeger. Now we know this guy is an outstanding drift competitor. 36.29. He's not really kitted up for actually keeping the car in a straight line. He's a great story. He spent a lot of time overseas doing his drifting, and he's really excited about this whole concept this weekend and pitting his skills against some other cars and stars.
I've spent a lot of time just finding ways to get to the track and to buy cars to have fun in. About 12, 13 years ago, I got into drifting, and I was one of the only people that was actually able to turn that into my job. And so I got into the professional scene here in Australia back then. With the financial crisis, that all kind of went south, and I was really looking for a new avenue, and so that was a chance for me to actually move overseas, and I moved to Japan, and I was living and working at a racetrack over there, and just pretty much drifting every day, and drifting with some of the Japanese best drifters, which is Team Orange over there, and learning their tricks and their techniques and getting better. And while I was over there, I won a couple of championships in a local series, which is the G1 Championship Series. And then with the big earthquake they had over there, my house was pretty close to the power plant, so I ended up moving back to Australia. I've been very used to building my own cars, how I want them, and this was actually a friend of mine. He built a car about 5 years ago, and I helped him with some of the parts. And so he just wanted it as a street car, so he never took it to the track, never thrashed it, and just came up 5 years later. He was ready to move on, and so when he called me and he said it was for sale, I already knew the car, I knew how it was built, I knew it was built to a high level, and so yeah, I was ready to step in, and everything just kind of lined up well with where I was at. So I've spent the last 12 months trying to develop myself more into a little bit more circuit-minded. And so I bought a simulator for home. I've spent a lot of time in that, just trying to learn what it takes to go fast. You can drive sideways, but it doesn't mean you can drive fast around a track. I can't help but just want to be sideways everywhere. And so because we're combining a motor carner, which is effectively the fastest way in this thing will be to go sideways, I think the drag will really test me, particularly because in drifting you've got to be nice to the gear. And in drag racing, it's all about getting your shifts in quick, getting off the line and actually abusing the car a little bit. And so this has still got a standard 6-speed gearbox and then known for being weak. And so it's definitely going to test not just me, but my ability to keep this thing in one piece while also trying to do a few new things.
Stephen Bradford, the 997 Turbo, quickest car from the Motorcana, and this will be rapid too.
Highly competitive. He's got the R-Spec tyres, turbo, all-wheel drive. He knows his way around Winton, and he's really hustling that car through the tight stuff.
Later in our series for the Harrop Ultimate Street Car Invitational, we're going to find out an amazing story about this guy. I'd love to be picked up for school in this car.
The orange wheels are a little bit loud from Forge Line, but they certainly get the car turning nicely, and again, he just knows how to pull it up quickly with those big brakes.
31.15 seconds. That is hectic. What this man knows about Winton Motor Raceway and also about Porsches, wow, it's incredible. Fitzy, he will be right on the money here.
Again, highly modified Porsche. It's the next level really over Stevens. It's got a lot of upgrades, and Fitzy, he's probably done 1 trillion laps around this place.
Yeah, very smooth too. 30.82 for Peter Fitzgerald, and you know, amongst all the other cars, he wants to beat an Audi in particular because son Christian is going to be wearing him down all day. Very smooth out of the cleavage here at Winton. A 30.8, and Fitzy is right on the money. Jeez, look at that for stopping power.
That's fast.
This is the car I think everybody expects to be the quickest in this. Jeffrey Morton in the Lotus.
Highly modified 1.8 litre E85, supercharged by Harrop and Simply Sports cars. And Jeff's done a lot of driving, so he's done Dutton rallies. He knows how to drive around tight, twisty circuits, really what the Lotus is ideally suited to.
And you could argue that he's the most prepared out of anyone with this. He brought his own support team.
It's almost like Formula One.
Isn't it just? Very, very intense. This guy, he wants to put a big performance in, and a 30.7, that is quick enough to be the quickest. Jeff Morton in the Lotus Elise. So your top 10 for auto test sees Jeff Morton quickest, but only just. Peter Fitzgerald, Stephen Bradford, the Porsche's very quick there. Christian Fitzgerald in the Audi, Craig Dean in the Shelby GT, Schutz, Schart, Harrop, Henderson, and Martin Moran rounding out the top 10 in the GTO Coupe. On our next episode of Harrop Ultimate Street Car Invitational, we're going to go drag racing, and Heath, that's going to bring up some interesting battles.
Absolutely. There's some cars that are really well suited, and Justin Smithies with his Hillman, he's had this car since he got his license, and it's just developed it over time. And then we're going to take a look at Stephen Bradford's 997 Turbo.
There's going to be some surprise packets come out of that story, I can assure you. All that on our next episode of Harrop Ultimate Street Car Invitational. We'll see you then.